What's up everyone, today we're showcasing Shadow Houndoom in the Halloween Cup. This thing was so much fun to use and worked way better than I was expecting. I ended up going like 12 in 8 with it, which is really nothing spectacular, but I did end up getting a 5-0 in the midst of that, which is pretty sick. It gave me like 70 points from 3009 to like 3079, so yeah, way more solid than I was expecting, and this thing just tore apart some teams. It was awesome, to be honest. This first team in particular, this was crazy. My opponent led a Shadow Victreebel into my Houndoom. Look at him go, and you're gonna see what's in the back. It's a Shadow Mawile, and I just end up ripping it apart with Shadow Houndoom. I have Galvantula on the back though, and it's not gonna enjoy the Fire Fangs from Mawile either. Luckily, I am able to chunk it down a lot though, and now I should be able to Volt Switch down. Still very close, but man, Houndoom put in so much work. Second game, we end up getting a very bad lead with Azumarill though. That's why I have two Azumarill answers in the back in Jellicent and Galvantula. I think these two pair pretty well with Houndoom because they cover Houndoom from its water weakness and fighting weakness. Galvantula and Jellicent are good versus both of those. My opponent doesn't really have a great switch in for Jellicent. It seems like Frostlass is their best answer, which is good for me. They will outpace me to Shadow Balls though, so I think I lose. Well, actually, I'm gonna, because I had a little bit of energy, I think I outpaced to 3 Shadow Balls before they get to 3 Shadow Balls, but like barely, right? And if they bait once, I definitely lose. So I'm gonna try to catch the move on Houndoom right here, and since our switch timers are misaligned, I should be able to just chunk this down before they're able to switch. Yeah, since they threw a play rough before switching, they weren't able to switch out right there. And man, this Azu was very low, and I still have 2 basically full health Pokemon in the back. So this is looking quite good now. I'm just gonna take this move from Azu. I'm assuming their back Pokemon is weak to Jelly, because otherwise they would have switched in something stronger than Frostlass into Jelly, right? So I'm saving health on that, and it does end up being a Toxicroak. So this is looking quite good. We discharge once, we farm it down, and now Azu is pretty much done for. 1 discharge seals the deal right there. So GG coming back from a terrible lead with Houndoom. That's what I like to see. Alright, Drapion Lead. This is, by the way, why I'm running Fire Fang on Houndoom. I tried Snarl for 1 set as well on a regular Houndoom, but I think Fire Fang is just the way to go. Also, Aquatail, I wasn't expecting that. We still get to the crunch right here. But yeah, Fire Fang is just so oppressive in a fast move damage. It helps a lot versus Dark Poisons, and it just helps a lot versus all the Scizor, the Mawile, the Galv that are currently kind of common-ish in the lead. So yeah, that just ended up working way better than Snarl for me. Even though it is worse versus stuff like Jellicent, mainly Jellicent. But besides that, Fire Fang just chunks down everything you want it to beat, basically. So that's quite nice. Actually running double Dark Poison, which my Jellicent definitely does not enjoy, right? It definitely does not enjoy double Dark Poison. I'm gonna come into Jelly right now. And, well, we're gonna shield this up. If they get the debuff here, no, this is gonna be rough. Luckily, they don't get the debuff. And it's actually a triple poison line with Beedrill on the back. So I'm kind of confident here. Because I don't think this drill run will do enough to where the Skuntank will be able to farm me down. But as you're gonna see, this drill run actually ends up doing so much. The Skuntank will likely bubble me down before or poison jab me down, fast move me down, before I can bubble them down. So that would not be great. Gonna go for that Shadow Ball right here. In comes Skuntank, and I end up making a play right there. I throw 3 bubbles. I switch to Galv, 1 Volt Switch, knocks him out. GG right there. Let's rewind that real quick. Alright, I do want to highlight this play because I thought it was pretty good. After this run, I notice that I will likely not be able to bubble down the Skuntank before it poison jabs me down, and probably gets to a crunch versus my Galvantula, causing me to lose the game. So what I have to do here is somehow get my Galvantula in the game to where it can get off a Volt Switch. Problem is though, a 1 Volt Switch is 4 turns, and I will die in 2 poison jabs, which is also 4 turns. And so I cannot just switch at any moment, because if I switch when the Galvantula Skuntank won't be aligned, the 2 poison jabs will register before my Volt Switch. So what I do is I throw 3 bubbles, or I've already thrown 2 here. I throw 3 bubbles, which is 9 turns. I switch. A switch takes a turn, so the 5th poison jab still registered on my Jellicent. That's very important. And now the Galvantula and the Skuntank are aligned, allowing me to get 1 Volt Switch in during the 2 potion jabs, killing the Skuntank and keeping my Jellicent alive at like 1 HP. That was very, very nice. Next game, we have Houndoom into Mandibuzz, and it's an Air Slash Mandy. This is really not ideal. Snarl is actually quite fine for Houndoom because they need 2 Aerial Aces to knock out. But with Air Slash, they can just Air Slash 1 Aerial Ace and then farm me down, which is not awesome. Luckily though, I'm barely able to get to this Flamethrower, which will do a lot of damage to this Mandibuzz. Look at this. A good amount of damage to a Mandibuzz. Unfortunately not able to take it out, but they're very, very low. Great thing about Mawile Lead is usually they don't have a very solid answer to Jellicent in the back. There's no Scrafties there. There's no Umbreons there. Could be a Dark Poison though, which is also not great. Because I have Bubble, Ice Beam, I still have Play there. But of course it's not awesome. Unfortunately it's a Nidoqueen though, which is great for Jelly, but awful. Right? Absolutely atrocious for the Galvantula. Probably one of the hardest answers there is. Resisting or double resisting every single move it has. Luckily no darks here, it's a Frostlass, and this could be a Jelly sweep. They threw it exactly at 7 Powder Snows, which is a Shadow Ball, and then the next Shadow Ball is also 7. Since it's 8 energy per Powder Snow, and 8 times 7 is 56, every single Shadow Ball is just 7 Powder Snows. It's pretty easy to remember. So I'm going to try to catch here exactly at 7 again. This is another Shadow Ball, most likely. I'm just going to let it go because I want the Nidoqueen to sweep. Luckily, this knocks me out. If they would have undercharged there, it would have made it a little more difficult. I'm going to overcharge right here, throw 3 bubbles so they can only get like 5 Powder Snows. That's right before they get to an Avalanche. And we take it out. Now I'm going to have to get to the Ice Beam right here. This could be an Earth Power, but if it's a Poison Fang, I don't want to shoot it because the next one would knock me out and definitely get there. Luckily, it's just a Poison Fang. And we're able to get to the Ice Beam right there and take out the Nidoqueen. This was a really, really close game right there. GG. Alright, next one. Awful lead. But it's a Hex Jelly, alright? It's not a great lead, but it's a Hex Jelly. And Hex Jelly you actually beat in the 0 shield. Even if they have Bubble Beam, you beat them in the 0 shield. And sometimes you can even beat them in the 1 shield. So what I would recommend in Jelly lead scenarios, throw 1 Fire Fang. If it's Bubble, you want to switch into your Galvantula. If it's Hex, you stay in. And you're gonna see, if I stayed in this match, actually, you're gonna see I would have likely won it. Because this line is very weak. It's very weak to Jellicent in the back. But I end up farming this down with Jelly. And farming this down with Jelly because Jelly with energy is really, really good. And I need my Jelly with energy for their Jelly. Luckily, they end up switching in their Jelly. So this is quite nice for me, actually. Because this will bring it very, very low. I'm gonna try to catch a mover. Unfortunately, I don't catch ever Toxstroke in the back. Imagine if I stayed in with Houndoom versus their Jelly. I would have taken a shield. Or like at least taken a shield, you know, or taken switch even if they decide to no shield the crunch. And then it would have been Jelly versus the Mawile and Toxstroke would have been game over, right? So, unfortunate. But now we know how to play it. Anyway, this Nippon takes me out. I'm not even bothering shooting because it was game over with the Jelly in the back. Alright, another Jelly lead. 1 Fire Fang's Bubble though, unfortunately. So I have to switch out. In comes Nidoqueen. This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. Nidoqueen. Basically the hardest answer to Galvantula in this meta. Well, besides like Dragalge. Dragalge might be even better. Though, Dragalge doesn't double resist. Dragalge only single resists the electric, of course. Nidoqueen definitely still harder. I guess Golurk is good. Golurk... Wait, does ground resist bug? No, it doesn't, right? No. Golurk only... No, Golurk takes neutral from lunge then, right? No, because it's ghost. It's ghost. It resists bug, of course. Anyway, I'm gonna farm this down with Jellicent. Luckily I lunged, so that did nothing. They bring their own Jelly. I think I have an... Oh, I don't have an energy advantage here, actually. I don't have an energy advantage because I already farmed up a little bit. Yeah, Golurk is probably just as hard of an answer to Galv as a Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is way more tanky though, so it can actually take 2 lunges. Like Golurk, a lunge feels like it's neutral, even though it's resisted. Alright, go for another Shadow Ball right here. This will this would knock out their Jelly, so they shoot it up. They have an energy. I thought they have a... I thought they had a little bit of energy advantage there because they already farmed up a little bit. But we're gonna end up doing something weird right here. We're gonna both swap. And notice, I actually win CMP there. I actually won CMP there, which is quite huge. Gonna go for the crunch against this Dragalge right here. Dragalge is pretty awful for this team as well. But look at this crunch. It does so much damage. Defense drop too. Fire Fang down. Can we bubble this down and get to the Shadow Ball versus Jellicent? That would be really, really big. This is just an Aqua Tail. Doesn't kill me. Farm it down. Get to the Shadow Ball. This should be game over. Let's go. Very nice. Beat the Bubble Jelly Lead. Very, very, very nice. Right. They had like hard counter in the back too, so that was pretty cool. Alright, Wigglytuff Lead. I don't love this. I usually throw 4 Fire Fangs and then switch to Jelly. This brings him in range where an Ice Beam plus Bubbles will knock them out. I wonder if I should consider doing more Fire Fangs though. I don't think so, because my Houndoom is already very, very low. As you can see, it doesn't knock out. Maybe if I do a couple more Fire Fangs. No, I'm never able... I don't think I'm ever able to beat this thing before they can get to play rough. So this is fine. I think 4 Fire Fangs is the way to go. Now I farm down and I have a Shadow Ball and a little bit of energy. So even if they have their own Jelly, which is... I've seen a couple times with Wiggly for some reason. I outpaced the 2 Shadow Balls, so that's quite nice. An Ice Beam on the Dragalge right here. They shielded up. Unfortunately, again, Dragalge is terrible for me, so I'm not looking great. So I save... Actually, switched out. I saved the Ice Beam. For their Dragalge, because I don't think I'll be able to beat the Dragalge otherwise. They're got my Poison Fang here, this is fine. I'll just throw Discharge immediately, otherwise I would get to another Poison Fang. They have a lot of energy. I just want to get rid of it. Problem now is the Dragalge can definitely farm me down, which I do not like at all. Not even able to get to the lunch. This thing has energy now, not amazing. I'm just going to try to get to the crunch though. I'm just going to try to get to the crunch. And when I was playing this battle, I was like, yeah, there's nowhere to shooting, right? But seeing the previous crunch damage, this crunch might have actually knocked out. So they made a good shield call right there. I think they should have saved their shield still, though. I think the crunch might have barely not knocked out, but I guess they didn't realize I had an Ice Beam. And this Ice Beam will actually knock out this Dragalge. So very close game right there. 1 HP. And an Ice Beam, take him out, let's go. Next up, Gengar Lead. This is really good actually. Bring out Skuntank and make a slow swap. I threw 2 Fire Fangs. If you see Dark Poison come in, you have to switch immediately into Galvantula. I can't wait to see what it is. You always wanna go Galvantula, alright? If it's Skuntank, you don't wanna give him that extra Poison Jab advantage. Since I switched after 2 Poison Jabs, they're now gonna get to the second crunch 2 turns before I can get to my next move, unfortunately. If I would have switched faster, like immediately, they would not have gotten there, would have CMP tied, I would have been in a good spot, I would have had switch or shield advantage, either one would have been fine. Now I don't have switch, and we're even shields. So this is not great. And they also have a Scrafty. Either way, this would have been tough though. Either way, this would have definitely been tough, but with a shield advantage, this matchup is actually kind of fine for Jelly with shield advantage. This is also why I'm running Bubble Ice Beam, by the way, not Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam shit, you know, for the dark types like Mandibuzz and Scrafty. Bubble Ice Beam really helps. That was tough. Bubble Ice Beam really helps. And I think overall in this meta it's just a more flexible moveset. Also versus things like Nidoqueen, it does help out. So yeah, I think Bubble, Ice Beam, Shadow Ball is just in general the way to go. Anyway, in comes Gengar again. Gonna go for the Shadow Ball right there. Maybe they let it go, but no, they want to win, so they don't. And we get farmed down, and this, yeah, that's definitely game over right there. Oh, look at it. The Fire Fang damage is pretty decent. But yeah, if I would have switched earlier right there, I think we would have been fine. Though only if they shielded though, only if they fought for switch. All right, Umbreon. Galvantula Lead. They bring in Umbreon. I didn't know what to do here. I really didn't know what to do here. I should have switched earlier, I think. Problem is, Gal versus Umbreon is kind of close. It's kind of close. So I don't love this. They're going to throw a move right there, which I will shield. It would knock me out. Maybe I should have shielded the first with a Psychic for some weird reason. I don't understand why, to be honest. I really don't understand. Maybe they want the defense drop, but I think Foul Play is just the better move. But yeah, defense drop maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I think I can survive this. And I don't want to go 2 shields down, so... But I only survived 1 HP, so I have to throw. They can get switched back here. They can get switched back here. And it would not be great. It would be awful, actually, because I have a Jelly. That Galv is going to be aligned to my Jelly. So this is not looking awesome, actually. I don't know how... I think maybe I should have stayed in longer with Houndoom. Stayed in longer, taken 1 move, like a last resort, got it down into range where 1 lunge would knock out. I think that's the way to go with Umbreon Lead. Or Umbreon swap in. Here comes their Galv again. The instant swap into the Toxicroak. I'm just gonna crunch. I don't think I would not have reached the flamethrower, I'm pretty sure. I need like 2 more Fire Fangs and they would have knocked me out. I don't even go for more Fire Fangs right there because I want to farm down this Toxie. I need to hit a Shadow Ball or 2 against the Galv to knock it out. So I'm going to farm it down all the way right before I get to another Mud Bomb. So that's pretty huge. 1 Shadow Ball coming through here. In hindsight, maybe I could have just a Fire Fang because as you're gonna see, this 1 Shadow Ball does enough to where I can likely farm it down. So probably was safer to just do some more Fire Fangs because as you're gonna see, take it out anyway. Oh no, actually, never mind about that because I actually needed to get to the Shadow Ball before they get to the lunge. That was important. That's why I undercharged, not because I needed 2 Shadow Balls, no, because I needed 1 that wasn't debuffed. That's why. Alright, very close game, GG right there. Alright, another Azumarill Lead, terrible. In comes Sableye into my Jellicent. Yeah, this is quite bad. We can at least get some good chip here, and maybe Galv can sweep the back. If it's like Umbreon, maybe it can sweep, but still, it's not gonna be easy. Let's see though. 1 Shadow Ball coming through, so definitely hurt the Sableye. But not enough, unfortunately, not enough. There's no scenario in which you win with Jellicent. Against Sableye, unless I think if you're in Hex, alright, if you're in Hex Jelly with Bubble Beam and Shadow Ball, I think if you sneak some bubbles through and they don't get any Shadow Claws through and you get some Bubble Beam baits and then you hit the Shadow Ball later on, you might be able to win that, but not with this variant. Alright, I get the defense drop, which is really nice, but I have a Cove Regis in the back. This is actually a winning matchup in the 2 shields for Galvantula. If you hit the discharge, I can now farm it down before they get to 3 moves. Which is important because I have 2 shields. And like 1 move would knock me out. Even a Dark Pulse from here would knock me out. So I'm gonna shoot it up. I need my Galv for the Azu, of course. Just gonna lunge right here. Probably should have lunged earlier. Because now I end up taking 2 Shadow Claws, which are not debuffed. But if I let it go, I like having more energy, right? So it's fine. Just gonna shield this up. Yeah, it really doesn't matter though. It really doesn't matter. Actually, could I have undercharged that initial? No, I think they were close to my Shadow Ball. I'm thinking, could I have undercharged that initial discharge to get more Volt Switches in? But no, I think they would have just gotten to another Dark Pulse in that case. And well, we see Pitai here. I knew they had a move. I could have considered a catching on Houndoom. The thing is that there's undercharge in that case. There's undercharge and a farm me down. So either way, I lose this game. Yeah, that's game over. That's game over. GG's right there. Close though. All things considered, we actually got kind of close, right? So yeah, well played. All right, Crustle, terrible. Yes. Yeah, this line just sucks against Crustle, Tyranitar, especially in the lead. I wouldn't, like, this is very hard. I wouldn't expect to win those games. Also, Snarl, Mandibuzz coming in. Maybe if it's a little bit less of a hard counter in the back as well, it's possible. Because Galv versus Crustle, well, Galv loses that, of course. But if you can farm up and throw like 2 moves at the Crustle, it dies. So, what I'm trying to do here is burn shields, actually. I want to burn at least 1 shield. Man, if this was an Air Slash Mandy, which is a very common variant I've seen, I would have actually been fine. Because Jellicent actually wins the zeros versus... with like a bubble advantage, I'm pretty sure Jellicent wins the zeros against Mandy. Or it's like very, very close. Or you can like win switch. Anyway, you can't in this case. But I burned a shield. So I'm just going to farm this down now. I'm actually going to shield up this foul play, which might seem kind of dumb. But I don't want to get fast moved down by the Crustle, you know? So I want to save my health. And I only need 2 moves to kill this Crustle, so I'm fine. The thing is though, Crustle, Mandy, probably Azu, right? Probably Azu. I think that's pretty common. Crustle, Azu core. Crustle, Mandy, Azu. I've definitely seen that. I get pretty lucky here. No Smackdown through. That definitely helps me. But yeah, you're gonna see it's a zoomer on the back, and it is a game over right there. Yes, GG's. Let's just see how much Flamethrower does though. Oh, I think I forgot. I had one. All right, if you want to run this and you still have frustration on your Houndoom, that's fine. Just run it with Fire Fang Crunch. You'll be okay. You'll be very fine. I don't think I hit it once. I'm thinking of one game where I flamethrower the Drapion, but then that was when I was running Snarl Houndoom. With Snarl Houndoom, you definitely want flamethrower. With Fire Fang, it's not important. Just run Fire Fang Crunch and you'll be fine. All right, again, Wigglytuff Lead, 4 Fire Fangs. Dip, Ice Beam right here. You'll be fine. For some reason, these Wigglytuff Leads don't have a solid Jellicent answer most of the time. I don't understand. Wiggly plus Dark is pretty solid, right? Is it not? They have their own Jelly. They switch it in quickly enough to where they will be able to get to a Shadow Ball before I can get to another one, which is unfortunate. If they let me farm down the Wiggly, that would not have been possible, but now they get to a one earlier, which is unfortunate, but fine. Very fine. In comes my Galv. This is okay. I'm just gonna throw immediately, I think, because this is CMP tie. Is this CMP tie? No, I think they're still one away from the Shadow Ball, but if I threw another Volt Switch, they would have gone there before my discharge would have fired, so it's fine. In comes our Beedrill though. This is awesome. Look at look at Houndoom go. I should go for the crunch. This is unnecessary. I don't know why I do this, to be honest. I should have just... I thought because I thought I was gonna die. They bring in Wigglytuff. It dies and the Beedrill also dies. That was pretty great. It was a very chaotic finish, but Houndoom finished it off. Alright, and again, a pretty slow swap with Galv, but luckily it's no Skuntank. Drapion is very, very fine, even if they have a little bit more of an energy advantage. End up shooting the first one right here. Usually you don't want to shoot the first crunch from Drapion, because they have the chance of getting defense drop, which they did. But because Lunge also drops attack, I think with Galv you do want to shoot the first one, because even if they debuff you, it will still be like, you know, like they're not debuffed in this case. And if they don't debuff you, you're in an even better spot. So shooting the first one is the play to go, is the way to go. They Sludge Bomb me, and now they'll be able to farm me down. This is not awesome, but this is fine. This is very fine. I have two answers. I have two answers to the Mawile, right? So I am looking quite good. Sludge does hurt me though, but that's fine. That's very, very fine. What did they bring in now? I think it's Azumarill they bring in, right? It is Azumarill, so this is not looking great. But again, I have two answers to Mawile. Like, you don't need to have Switch when you see a Mawile Lead, because, well, Jelly also does very, very well here. Unfortunately, it's a regular Mawile, which means they'll actually be able to get to the big move. Most of these have an Iron Head, though, so I'm not shooting this. I'm not shooting this, because Iron Head is resisted. It does less than a Play Rough from Azu, but it's a freaking Play Rough. I should have really shielded that. Using a shield there would have been quite nice, because it does do more than Azu can do with their Play Rough. But I'll still be able to get to two Shadow Balls, I think. Right? Problem is, I won't get to 3. They'll bobble me down before. However, my Houndoom still has some energy. Can I get to the crunch here and knock it out? Look at this Fire Fangs go, by the way. Actually, that's a good chunk. Go for the crunch. Does this knock out the Azu? It does. And it's a great game right there. GG. Final game as well. Hope you enjoyed these battles. Try out Houndoom. I think it's pretty fun. Worked out pretty well for me. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.